Let's talk about the animation. The animation was always great, but it did seem to have a lot of variation. The style would change very often. Sometimes it would be very solid, other times it would be very bouncy, sometimes it was subtle, sometimes it was exaggerated. How did that work? Was there different animation groups? Did it depend on the director?
Like 5 different companies that would be farmed out a certain short.
We were employing most of Asia at the time. We had studios set up all over Korea and Japan, New Zealand at one point.
There was a company called TMS. There was a company called Wang.
Like ACOM, I think, in Japan was one of the top studios. Whatever you sent there always came back looking great.
I could see that like Wang had a style of drawing, the Warners, that was a little bit more roundy. ACOM was a little bit more, angular and stuff. So yeah, each company had its own way of doing it.
And then other studios, it would depend on, what they were up against. You wouldn't always get their best crew.
We'd get it back and it would literally look like, Yakko's eyes were melting off his face. And you'd be like, oh, we're in trouble.
Certain ones came back so hashed, you couldn't save them in editing. You had to try and make them into something else.
There would be a detailed storyboard about exactly what would happen. Then the timing person would come in and say, okay, the gag from Yakko to go from this position to this position is so many frames. These days, there isn't as much control. You sort of just, show them your storyboard and you ship it over and you kiss it goodbye and hope nobody looks really gross.
Our focus is on the animated feature.
What kind of dream will you dream, little Nemo?
This is an interesting little film, and to be fair, you can't really talk about it unless you go into a little bit of the film's history. It was supposed to be the big showcase to America of Japan's great animation studio TMS, who you'd later recognize from such works as Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, and Batman.
But in your Animaniacs Tribute, you said it was ACOM.
I was wrong!
Judas.